Hmm.
So yeah, because I started, I'll go with the word. My word of the day is perceptions, and I've got a beautiful quote from Travis Walton. Don't know if you guys know this guy. I just learned about him, and it goes like this. I've come to realize that the biggest problem anywhere in the world is that people's perception of reality are compulsively filter through their through the screening mesh of what they want and do not want to be true.
Hmm. Hmm. Sounds like a truth bias.
Mm.
Well, and it sounds like a truth bias as I know how to create then. I know what I want then, and I know how to do it then.
Hmm.
And society, culture in general, just keeps doing that through our generations.
Hmm.
I say that's the biased truth, that we think we know what we want. We fool ourselves into thinking we're going for it, when in all reality, for the most part, it's a pattern that is not, well, it's half what we want. So in that perception that you use, Pascal, we listened to that YouTube yesterday. I listened to it yesterday. It was in the group chat, and the guy, he pointed back to the huge awakening, the awareness 400 years ago when we discovered we are not the center of the universe.
Yeah, that the Earth is not the center. Yeah.
Which
And then,
video was that? You know?
oh, it was an interview with a neuroscientist that was in the Allison, I believe, posted it when I commented on in the chat there, and it was like, oh, I was just noticed the old structures from that.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of these dogmas have become systemic. And when the truth becomes clear, there's resistance to the truth.
Because when we buy the biggest lies, then we tend to hold on it.
Hmm.
We don't want to let it go. We put so much effort to make it true for ourselves. But that doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, binary thinking tends to do that.
So what is my word for the day? Perception. Light. In all the ways that it can be. The different spellings of it. Almost light as in weight, it's light. So that connects to it, to perceptions and truth. Is like when the perception is light, truth, not heavy, we could lean towards that being a truth. True for us, which is the only one that matters. First. That's my word. Thank you.
Welcome, Mona.
Yeah, hi
morning.
Mona.
Y'all
Morning,
sound
Mona.
morning. Everybody sounds really good today. My word is for today is just reflection. About where I am at and where I'm going.
Those are contradictory. In reflection. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Cool. Hmm. Any wisdom celebrations? Mona? Or space you'd like?
My wisdom celebration would be the stuff that wasn't able to show up before is now showing up. And for me, it was the deep seated stuff that wasn't ready to come up yet.
Mhm. The good news, these go faster.
Yeah.
They're more energetic. We were talking about perceptions, and when we can let it go, yeah, it seems to work out better. Pascal has perceptions. Mine is lightweight. So light-weighted perceptions. And Mona reflecting where we're at, where we're going, and where we've been. Craig, did you have a word for the day yet?
I just had a question that came up. Does does the lens of our perception create the charge? For example, if I look at something that happened, if I look at it this way, is it charged? Versus if I looked at it another way, is it charged?
And what do you say?
I'm pretty sure Pascal has the answer to this.
It depends on your perception.
Yeah. Change your perception, change the charge.
Question becomes then, is it the perception that carries the charge?
Hmm.
The slowest that I've been able to observe it is when the perception is there, or I notice the filter, it will trigger the charge, which is the chemical reaction associated because of the experience from the past. So it's a feeling that it's connected to that thought. thing. Now it happens the other way too, where I'll get a feeling and then I connect a thought to it. And they're just such a, pattern that they go together. But what I say is my thoughts don't carry the charge. My reaction to them does. So I carry the charge. That's why I say in this space that I am, I'm always a charge.
Yeah, there's a pattern of perception
Mhm.
in there.
Of course, yeah. And reaction, ye lifetime of everything we do. We're just trying to pull out the ones that we don't like or that aren't working or that come to our attention that need to be addressed as information. The problem is when we take that personal or we take others personal, we judge ourselves and we judge others. So then we hide it, we change our filters, and our filter becomes to fit in, to belong, to be validated, to be agreed with. And we do that a whole lot more than we worry about surviving consciously, like even in a conscious way, which is all that can be really measured.
I've been doing some listening to a class, and one of the things that came up is when you start to notice that charge, there's maybe some questions you can ask yourself, like, did I get hurt? Am I comparing myself to somebody? And do I have an attachment to that? And is that attachment serving me? And I've been using those questions, and it's helped me observe a lot more and slow down and not be so reactive.
And I will honor that it's, thank you for sharing your questions. The questions that matter are those that you cultivate.
Yeah.
And I honor that you chose, said, I'm going to take these ones, I'm going to try them on. And yeah. And they are. It's not like we find ourselves in the heat of a moment and say, I automatically change myself, it doesn't work that way. Those chemical reactions have already built up and they've got to come down. They have to unwind. There's a pattern to unwind as well. What we do is, as we become aware, you tend to notice later on after the fact, we like, gosh, I messed up on that one, and it could be years later, right? And then we get a little bit better and we'll notice it right after the fact to be like, oh, that sucked. I would have done better. And then we'll run into the next situation. And pretty soon we start to notice it, that we can pause this reaction on the escalation. And that is close to being aware, is when an old pattern such as anger and frustration starts to kick off. The soonest that when you notice it is the awareness. Is only then is when it can be choose another pattern or choose another response. And all of that just takes time because it takes practices because the situations have to show up. On your word, and we have to reflect on them to say, yeah, was I satisfied with that? Was that good for us? Was that helpful? Was that valuable? Is that what I wanted? Did the outcome and the information useful? Whatever questions, yeah. Just as long as they trigger growth, love, service. Because that'll always pull you, suck you into the flow. The flow of the beauty around us.
Craig's footsteps sounds like a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he obviously is walking.
It's me.
Oh, good for you. Oh my gosh. It sounds like a heartbeat. Well done, Mona.
Thank
Are you walking?
Yes.
Are you walking?
Yes.
Where are you
indoor-
walking? Outside? Outside or
Indoor.
inside?
Inside.
Are you walking on a treadmill?
I'm walking around the track.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's great. You're walking
One of
inside
the
an indoor track? Is it an
One of
indoor
the-
track?
Yeah. One of the things that came up for me was I don't need to, but I want to be in better shape.
Oh,
And so I started walking and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
shooting for 6,000 steps a day. And
good
so
for
far
you.
I've got an average of a little over 4,000.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Wow,
Yes.
good for you, Mona. Well
Mm.
done. Well done.
It's also a sign of self-respect to keep a promise to yourself.
Mm.
I agree. Awesome. And what time is it there on your time again? Your time zone? What's your time?
7:35 a.m.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Early riser, baby. Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, and I do say that because it was about a year, 2, 3, I don't know how many. When we spoke one time, you said to me, and I was like, wow. You said, oh, I do a workout 5 o'clock in the morning, remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it just sparked me. Like, oh my gosh, Mona, are you kidding me? And then I said to myself, wow, Mona, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was just like that spark, you know? And I said, that's nice. So from that onwards, believe it or not, how it came about, I started to wake up at 5. I didn't work out, but I woke up at 5. Just on that conversation. And then, just woke up at 5 and that's the story. And now that I get to also do a little small workout and it's pretty cool. You know, just to move your body, just to get the blood circulating, you know?
Yeah.
Because my body's stiff. I don't know about yours. My body's stiff in the morning. So it's just nice, you know? Yeah. But the indoor track is that's really cool. Because you can monitor yourself, like you can know, you know?
Well, my phone keeps track of my steps, so that helps.
Oh, that's really helpful. Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really, really helpful. That's cool. Awesome. Well, my word for the day is stretch. Yeah, stretch is my word. Stretch in all forms, in every area of my life. Stretch. Yeah.
Inspiration, intuition is stretching dough. A master of dough, stretching it, reshaping it, reforming it. Sculptor. Stretch in all forms. It was such a great inspirational story, Nikki, for acknowledging Mona in shaping your life. A demonstration. We
Yeah.
never know what
You never know, huh? Yeah.
what we say will do, will spark.
Yeah.
Never know how big that spark will grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And also what we don't share, you know,
Mhm.
because she would have never known that.
Mhm.
And that's I think that's what's makes a very big difference. You don't know how you going along your day, even having a, you know, yesterday I went to the fruit shopping quickly and it was so sweet. Her name was Natalia. So I like Natalia. I said Natalie to her. So she said, no, my name's Natalia. I went, oh, Natalia, what a beautiful name. So she had a little smile on her face. And then then I just repeated her name, Natalia, Natalia. So she started like really smiling. And then, you know what was so sweet is that we did a little, like, you know, those handshake things, like you hit each other, like slap, you know, and then do a little like fist pump. And she, oh no, we've got to do that. Can we do that again? I said, of course we can. And I mean, you know, there you go. And I said, well, and literally, this is the truth. Literally, she said, wow, I was having such, and this is what's so powerful. It's not about anything about what you do. It's just that awareness of saying, she said, I had a really bad day so far, and you made it. And it's not about gratification of what I did. It's just that energy of allowing somebody just to know that you don't even know, you know. You assume that you come to a counter and she's got a sour or a long face, or she's just not engaging, and you would think, oh, this is such a rude person. But, you know, I just like, I walked away and I said, thank you, God. You know, thank you that I don't take things personally anymore. You know, thank you that there you go. Right there was a clear indication. And she looked at me, and innocent and sweet as she was, she said, I was having a really bad day. You made my day. And I looked at her and I said, you made mine, Natalia. I won't forget your name. So next time I'm going to look out for you and come to you, you know? And she giggled. She like giggled. Like it was like an inner giggle, you know, belly giggle. And it's like, and I walked up the escalator and I said, wow, isn't that just delightful? And it can brighten your day. It doesn't have to be big shifts. It doesn't have to be big major things, you know. It's these little things. Wishing somebody well, wishing somebody, congratulating them, see their post and just give them that little red heart and say, yeah, I see that. But people are so indulged and so absorbed, so, can't. Because they're so like, just can't
Wrapped
do that,
up in
you know?
themselves. So
They're
wrapped
so
up
wrapped
in
up in
themselves.
their self and indulgence. Like, get over yourself, you know? Wake up. I haven't got time for shadowness. Just wake up.
Beautiful lesson. Thank you.
Was, really was.
And that's when you know it, right? It's like when that moment shows up, it's like, oh yeah, that's how I know.
Yes, Jesse. Yes, Jesse. That's when you know that you're doing it. That's when you know you're there where you should be, in a sense of
Yeah.
arriving, not in the sense of the end of destination, because it's never going to arrive, but you know that it's improving in letting go of that old identity and going into the new identity. Even if you don't see it, your actions are going to show you. Your behavior is going to show. It's the obvious. And that's the thing. Everybody else must treat you right, but you can't treat yourself even right. So how can you expect others to treat you right? Because it's down to you. It's all down based to you. The choices you're making, the frequency and the energy and everything. It's all you. You think it's other people, but it's you. And this is another thing, you do not know what people are going through. You maybe look and think, oh yeah, they've always got a smile on their face. They're so positive. Oh, they post this and they post that. Oh, yeah, maybe so. But trust me, we're all going through something. No one's got it better than somebody else. Trust me. And if that's how you think, then that's how you think. Then stay the way you think, because nothing's going to move them. Yeah. So I just like that, the fact that I can be in a place where I can see where I was, and now I can see where I am and what I'm choosing, taking full responsibility for the choices and what I am creating.
Sounds powerfully freeing.
Very freeing. Very freeing, because we're all trying to get into this new idea of like improve or new identity, but sometimes it's not going to show up. It's going to show up maybe for quite a while. But that's when you know your behavior is the highest information, when you are actually applying what you know, not what you think, but what you're actually doing by demonstrating.
Teaching.
And teaching and learning in the same time. Because as you teach, you're learning. You've got to stretch. You've got to stretch yourself.
Why you can't. Our filters of perceptions, our truth bias, our patterns we believe are true. We may not want to stretch. That may not be safe. That may not be comfortable, but all safe and comfortable are our past patterns.
Absolutely.
Which will just produce safe and comfortable again and again and again.
Yeah.
So they are doing what we want when we want that.
Exactly.
And yes, we have to reflect back on them to say, how did I do? Was I satisfied with that? Was that in my power? Was that choosing what I love? Is that the relationship I want with that person?
Mhm.
Because ultimately, everything comes down to a relationship with another person.
Absolutely.
Business is people business.
Absolutely not going to get away with it. We're going to be around that till till the day you leave this planet. So that's basic what it is, you know. But it boils down to a lot of things that as we speak, you know, uncovering the doubt, uncovering all the insecurities, the jealousy, the why she or he got that and I don't have that. Why is this person like this? And it's all that. But in the end of the day, are you doing what that person's doing? No, you're not. The same when you go as a coach, you ask your client, okay, this is what we had to do. Did you do the assignment? No. Okay, then why are you wasting my time? You're basically wasting my time. You're wasting your time and your money. If you're not going to follow through, then you just let's make that decision then and let's depart because you're wasting my time. You're wasting your time and money. I don't want to waste your money and time. I'd rather go and walk in nature somewhere. Go take a hike. I didn't need to stand here like asking you why you're not doing what you should do and what you could do. Oh, but I want, but no buts, man. Like this is it. It's a choice now. And this is where you have to narrow it down. You really got to narrow it down to choices. Like, what are you choosing here? Because it's like a merry-go-round. You just go round and around and round and around. And yeah, it can be nice. It can be very nice. You know, in South Africa, we have a word. In South Africa, we say nice. Constantly nice. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah.
And things could be always moving in the silence, just not everyone knows. I experienced that yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, I know we have greatness back here, but no one knows about it. Why are you not telling us about it? 2 weeks now, I'm coming to a point. I've got to move. I need your choice now.
Yeah, that's it.
Blah, 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 blah,
And
blah,
you
blah,
know,
blah, 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 blah. Oh,
that's
all
it.
great stuff that we could use.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like literally, yes. I just want to give a definition of nice. Because I thought I had to be nice, you know. It was my upbringing. You have to be nice, polite, you know. No matter what the consequences, you got to be nice. You got to be a good girl and you got to be nice. You got to shut your mouth. You can't say anything because you're going to get offended. People are going to not like it. Da, 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 da. But you know what? I've come to that place. I've drawn the line in the sand. And I say, nice is nothing inside you cares enough. That's what nice means. Nothing inside you cares enough. If I care about you, I will put my energy and I will show you that I am now doing. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Caring. Because somebody that really loves you wants the best for you. Period. They want the best for you. And they will do it in a way that maybe you'll get uncomfortable. It's because you need to move the needle. And it's only you that can move the needle. I can't move the needle for you. So don't waste my time. And that goes with everything, every relationship that I have now. Don't waste my time. I don't need to be tolerated. You're paying me for something, I'm delivering, you need to apply. You need to follow through. Same with relationship. If I participate in learn, reciprocate. Not just give all the time. You got to get back. And if it's not coming back, then you got to say, okay, I see for what you are. Thank you very much. The relationship ends here. Because that's what it's about. because relationships can really affect your health. They can affect you physically. You can get physically sick, eh? You can exercise. You can eat well. You can take your vitamins. You can sleep. You can get the sunshine. But let me tell you, if you got hate in you and you got bitterness in you and resentment and judgmental, let me tell you, nothing happens.
No.
You will be sick. You are sick.
Empty.
You are empty, sick individual. And you will feel it in your body, you'll feel it in your mind, and you'll feel it in your soul. And that is what people are speaking out to everybody else.
Carrying guilt and
guilt
shame can also
and
make
shame. Absolutely. And also letting other people make you feel guilty, putting on guilt that you've done 5 years ago or 10 years ago, telling you that you got this and you got that and you did this to me. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me now? Are you really kidding me? And the shame, all that shame, it's over. It's over. You can't bring that to me anymore into my experience. I just delete. I know what I offer.
Is there more? Yes, thank you, Nikki. I love your power and passion behind it.
Yeah,
Great nuggets. Yeah.
Thank you that I could share that because it's important.
Yeah, I know it's important.
It's very
for Mona,
important.
Mona to share too when she comes to the front and says, "Here, I've got something that I would love to say." It is that holding that shame and guilt. I'll just be aware of it, and just to be aware. I don't know. I can't say, Nikki, and it's not in my place to just as an aware. Some people can feel that their coming to the front can get run over.
Oh, I lived with guilt and shame my whole life.
Yeah.
That was two things that I had to work really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Because I was shamed most of my life. I was put to guilt. Like even when somebody knew they were doing wrong to me, they still put guilt on me.
Yeah.
So I know all about guilt and shame.
Yeah.
And that's where I say, no more guilt, no more shame.
And what's in its place?
It's love and compassion, kind, joy and peace.
For who?
For me.
Yes. Say it again. For me. Yes.
For me. For me.
Starts there first, I say, and I think you say that too.
Absolutely. It starts with you first. And this is why it's a process, and I know how hard it is because I also know how to, as a man pleaser and trying to always please everybody. But it comes when you know that people are going to have their opinion. They're going to say whatever they're going to say about you, and a lot of times people have this fear of what does people think of me. Oh my God, if you could just get that out, like get it out and tag and treat that one, because that is, it stops you from your growth.
You just do it. You stretch yourself and you do it. You stretch yourself and you do it.
Yourself. Absolutely.
And you do it. And it's like, oh, if somebody thinks that's crazy and weird, it's like, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've created that. Yeah, you bet. That is different. How else do you think we get out of our shit?
Oh God, thank you, Jesse.
Our funks.
Thank you. Yes, man. Yes, man.
But no one here, none of us get in those.
Not us.
Not us. Not us.
Not us. No, we're not talking about us.
We're just preaching to everyone else. We're just preaching to everyone, not us.
Love it. Yeah, love that one. Woo. but it is a nice relaxation. It's just a lovely freeing and letting you to know that you can create it in a way of just being and knowing. And it's really amazing. It's a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time. It's an exciting time because being it to see it is going into the innocence of knowing that you've always had it, but through life and its obstacles and things that we had to go through, that we as human experience, that we also created. But when you get to the place when you can take full responsibility, that you can say, yeah, it wasn't right, it wasn't fair, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I'm not living in that pitifulness anymore. I am powerful. I am a powerful conscious creator right now, and I'm taking action, period. Action. I'm training my body. I'm training my mind. I'm stretching my body to such to the degree that I can say, yeah, this is who I am now. And anyone that comes, they can come, but it will bounce off me because I will be it. I am already it. I don't have to prove it anymore. This is who I am. And a lot of times when you think to yourself, how can you be it? Because it's just uncomfortable for other people, because I feel other people, but I can't feel uncomfortable anymore because I know what it takes to stretch and I know how it takes to do the work. And it didn't just come overnight. This is years in the making, but it's a confirmation that I just constantly repetition over and over and over and over, regardless of what was told to me and drilled into me, especially with loved ones. And I'm talking loved ones now. I'm not talking strangers. I'm talking the closest people to you. Keep telling you, what do you think you're doing? Like, when is this going to stop? Or whatever the stupid thing that comes out of their mouth, because it's purely stupid. It's stupid. That's stupid. Because nothing's encouraging. Nothing is supporting. Like, are you a joke? Are you becoming a joke now? Are you a joke? Like, who do you think you are? Like, really now? I was on a Zoom call yesterday, and these women came up and said, "Yeah, Nikki, how can I haven't got a college degree?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "The information that you just shared, the information that I shared, was that helpful?" They said, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, right. I don't have a college degree. Okay, there you go. Right. Do you know what I mean?" Yeah. So there you go. Boom.
Boom. There you go. From a powerful creator.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would think to myself, who am I? Yeah, who am I not? Who am I not?
Mm.
Yeah, because it's a proving to myself that that the fact that you're proving, I always had to. I always went back and I proved them wrong. I always did, no matter what I did in my life. I always went back. Yeah, if it was school, in Cape Town, my salons, everything. I always went back and I proved them wrong. So that maybe is a pattern of stretching myself. Yeah. But when I spoke to my cousin yesterday, like you said, your ex-boss that I worked with, the last boss I ever worked with, I mean, he was like on my case every single day. Like every single day. I said, really, haven't you got anything else to do? There's other employees here. Work on them, not work on me all the time. But you know what he said to my cousin yesterday? That Nikki has a following. She was my, just my golden diamond kind of shining hairdresser that he said he's never had, never will have again. And I said, isn't that amazing to hear? Because when I was in the salon, he made my life a misery. But he saw potential, you see. He saw potential in me and he stretched me. He stretched me. That's what he was doing. So when I went back to him, back before the pandemic, I went back with my son even. And he said, hello there. And I said, look at you. He said, yeah, look at you. You know, because, yeah, he opened another salon. And that salon was because I wanted to expand the salon. I wanted him to open another salon and then I could run it, you know, that kind of thing. And it was this, you know, I think just that, yeah, he had sort of fears of it, you know, he had fears of it. But now when you know, it's just beautiful, the expanse and stretching, that he doesn't only have the one salon now, he has 3 salons in the same neighborhood. So I go, there you go, you know, there you stretched yourself, yeah.
And where you
Do you follow what I
stretched
mean?
him. And where
And I stretched him.
You stretched
And
him.
then I'm thinking I'm just like some black sheep in the salon that he just like hates. But meanwhile, behind the scene, it was completely different. He was actually, yeah, just stretching himself. And I say that the same with my father. My father, I thought, hated me. I really thought that, you know. But he actually was stretching me because he saw potential in me. He did see potential in me. And that's why he was very hard and driven. And he wanted me to succeed. And you can only look back and go, thank you. Thank you for those learnings, because I understand now. And that's the beauty of understanding. That's true love, when you can understand. So not everybody knows how to show affection. They show affection in different ways. I'll give you a little story. I have to share this very quickly, if you don't mind. Yeah, you know, there was 2 monkeys. Yeah, and because of Valentine's, they were doing this little demo of 2 monkeys, a male and a female, and he was kissing her and hugging her and showing so much affection. And he says, "You see the monkeys?" And they all go, "Yeah, I see the monkeys." Okay, let's go to the lions. They went to the lions, and the male lion was just lying there and, you know, just in the sun and not taking notice of the female, and the females all like around him, sort of, you know, being, you know, around him and trying to get his attention. You know, whatever. Went back to the monkeys. They said, pick up a stone and throw it. And as they pick up the stone and they throw it, you know what the male monkey did? He ran away. He ran away. Went back to the lion section. They said, pick up the stone and throw it now into the lion. And guess what the lion did? Roar! He came out with a big roar. He stood in front of her and he protected her. So this is what I share, because I speak, you know, in a group of women yesterday. So just understand that I'm not speaking to men, I'm speaking to women. And this is what came out. Many times men will be all very affectionate and show the lovey-dovey and be there and blah, blah, blah. But when the trouble comes and literally the shit hits the fan, that male is going to run. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, yeah? Be the lion. Allow it to know. Maybe not show that much affection. Maybe not show, you know, all that lovey-dovey stuff that you maybe want. But when the shit hits the fan, he's going to stand there and he's going to roar and he's going to protect you. He's not going to run away. So don't be fooled. You follow what I'm saying, yeah? Don't be fooled. Because all go, oh, but we want this from him and we want that from him. He doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. Why not this? No, why not that? And I go, yeah. But in the end of the day, when it really comes to action, is the monkey or is it the lion? Which one is it? Yeah. So you gotta just know that. Does that make sense? You follow what I'm saying about the monkey and the lion? Mm. Yeah. Well, I've said my piece today. That's for sure.
A couple lesson I got from your share, Nikki. So the first one is being being comfortable of being uncomfortable. And I said that like a few times, I think, since I started with this group. And I love that word too, like stretch. Because like when I start stretching, it's really uncomfortable. But the more I do it, then it becomes more comfortable. So if I want to be, say, a public speaker, it's really uncomfortable in the beginning. But the more I do it, it becomes comfortable. And that's the only way to get comfortable, is to be uncomfortable. And
Go spot on, and thank you for that.
and the other one, let's see here. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
I was, thanks, Nikki.
Mm.
I was delivering coffee and saying good morning. So I was
Beautiful.
I was happily married in that, and
Oh
and
God, I love you.
still listening with one in.
Yes, right.
Uh,
You lion.
If, you know, and
You king. You're a
thank you.
king of the jungle.
Okay,
That's what I
it
gotta
came
say.
back to me. Like, can I
Yeah,
just
I
share
know
it like
you
quick?
did. I know, yes, bring it.
Okay. So the other one is learn from the past. Don't blame the past. And because as far as I know, we cannot change the past.
No, we can't. No,
As far as I know.
We can take the lessons. Yeah, we can take the lessons. And that's what makes us stuck, you know? That's what sabotage is all about. Because
So if
we're
we,
going from the old to the new, you know?
and that
And that's
relate
when
to
our behavior
us.
shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
That relate to us
Yes.
and others as well.
Yes.
Right? Because like
Absolutely.
it's done, you know?
Absolutely.
And by blaming yourself, I don't know, but for me, like that doesn't work. And by
Doesn't.
blaming others,
It doesn't.
to me, that doesn't work either.
Absolute.
So why we do it?
Absolute, because this is the learnings. This is why we're learning. This is why we're teaching.
Because we're looking at someone to blame.
Absolutely, because it's easy, because then we can't take responsibility. But it's the taking responsibility. And when you can truly take that, you can let go of the blame. You can even let go of all the terrible things that happened to you, or what didn't happen to you. You can let it all go. You really can.
Yeah, because we cannot
just
sit
don't know
with that
that.
feeling, that hurt
Yeah,
feeling.
you're creating it. You're creating it all
So
over again, all over again.
We're projecting on others, right?
Absolutely. And that is why we don't have to take it personally. Because when you truly listen, like observing, you can just see it. And you can say, like we just spoke about the triggers, we can take a deep breath and say, really now, is this hurting me? Like Mona said, is this attachment? Is there something that's bringing something of what happened to me as a child? Because that's what triggers are here. They're just reminders of what was happening, and you're carrying it in your body. And when you're carrying it in your body, the trauma and all the discomfort, when something happens, you think, oh my God, the person explodes. Why? It's because it's something deep laid that's not been released, and that you're carrying it. And that's when somebody just says something like just a word, you go off. A person can just lose it. And you go, oh my God, I just said something that wasn't even meaningful. Like, why are you losing it? It's because it's internal wounds that is triggered because you haven't released it. And this is why it's important to let it. Letting go is not easy. Never said it was easy. But that is when you let go of the old. Let it go in that way that you can bring in the new. And the same thing, holding the space for somebody. Yeah, we are all holding space. That's the gift. The gift. And I only share this because I'm in a I call this now my inner circle, because I'm very discreet of what I share. And I've shared some pretty personal things here. But I also feel in my heart that it was in the moment of knowing that I needed to release. I also needed to stretch myself. And I also have to be able to speak, because I was very uncomfortable to speak. Because I also know that it was my whole life walking on eggshells. But I also know that I had that, and I've always had it. And now I'm just coming into my full power now. And you do not have to like it, but I like it. And that's what matters. My opinion, what I like, what I do, what I feel, how I want it, when I want it, because I am the creator. I am choosing it for me. You don't have to choose it. You don't have to like it. Compare it all you want. Who cares? I've come to that degree where I stay in my lane. I don't make comparisons. I'm not in competition with anyone, especially women. Especially women, because I work with women, so I know.
And so what is the effect of that cause?
The effect of the course?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Where you said, I'm doing me, you
Yeah.
choose you. And
Yeah.
so what happens is people show up together that want to hear you, that want to be with you. And that is the greatest thing that there is because people choose to be there. And it's like, now that is how we can work.
Yes.
I know you want to work. I know they want to work. Yeah. It's like, there we go.
That's it. It's sincere. It's coming from a pure heart. It's coming from a heart that is just open, willing.
Passion is the transaction.
Purpose, desire,
focus, intention.
Want to be
Yes.
better. Yeah, want to be better. Just want to be better. Not that it is have to be better, but just to want to be better. Even if you could just one thing better, just one thing. You don't have to do everything. This is what I love about our lenses. What could we do? And what would we do? And what is the wood? We only have 4. There should only be 4 on the woods, or 5 maximum.
Mhm.
What do you prioritize, man? Prioritize yourself. But you
Focus.
also celebrate the wins. Celebrate the wins.
You can create everything you would want in 5 choices.
Amen. There's it.
A creator does that.
Oh my God.
Creator does it in 3.
Amen. I've got 3. Amen. That's it. It's done. It's done. It's just done. Like, it's just done.
That's right. I got 3 too, and my 3 fall like they go in an order. This one has to happen, and then this one happens, and then this one happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that. Then I'm done.
It's done. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling to be able to know this. That's number 1. And their possibilities. And to know no matter whatever education, no matter what background, no matter who, female, male, child, nothing is impossible. Nothing is. If you continue consistently keeping on, and don't give up. I am a prime testimonial of that, and I'm very proud to say that. That's why if anyone wants to come and say to me, blah, 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 I go, honey, I understand. Trust me. I know. And I'm dealing with women that have really gone through some serious stuff. This is no joke.
Mm.
So there's a lot to say. And once they come to that realization, go, oh my gosh, I can. I said, of course you can. You can. And you will. Why? It's because you're choosing it. Why? Because that's what you love. You deserve that love to give to you first. Not waiting for any partner or friend or neighbor or whoever.
Yeah, I just want to say you guys are stretching me because you're
Yeah,
reminding me every time, what do I really want? What do I really want?
That's
Every
it.
morning,
That's
it's
it.
like, what do I really want?
I know. I tell you, this exploded. Like, just being here on a couple of months now, I have realized that there has been a magnificent platform of growth in me, that I have waited for this. I have waited a very long time for this. And I had to believe in myself. I had to just follow through, no matter if I had to, no matter whatever the circumstances. And I could say I did it and I made it, and that's all that matters. And now I get to celebrate with people that want me to succeed.
Mm.
It is so rewarding.
Mm.
It's so rewarding. It's like, oh, it's like fresh air. It's like oxygen. It's like the first cup of coffee in the morning. You feel alive. You feel this is it. This is what a little girl and a boy, when you give them that desire, say, go for it. Just run the track, run. Don't keep on running. And they look back and they see that, your daddy and mommy on the sideline, or your team cheering you on. And I promise you, you'll become a giant. You'll start running faster than you ever ran. and you go, wow, doesn't matter where I come in the race. I finished it.
Hmm.
You don't have to come first. Finish the race. Finish your race. Do it what you choose because you're doing it. And you get to say, I did it. We don't need to be in competition with everybody. Especially women. They're so in competition with everybody. They're competition with their own spouse, believe it or not. It saddens me, but it is. I witnessed it yesterday. Man, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I was observing and I kept space and I listened. And as they were revealing, as they were speaking, they were actually observing and they were getting stretched and they got to say to themselves because they had the answers. And the one said to me, one of my clients said to me, why are you so quiet, Nikki? I said, because you got the answer. You've just answered your own question. Repeat what you just said. And she repeated it. I said, now write that down and now speak it out. She spoke it out. She started bawling her eyes out. Years and years and years of negative vision of herself in one sentence. That was it. It freed her. It's freed her completely. The chains are off her. She was chained. She was bounded. And now it's like you could see it open up. And that to me, there's nothing more inspirational. There's nothing more empowered. There's nothing more that you want. That's what we want to do. That's what you want to be. Yeah.
So the question is competition a bad thing? Because
no, it's not a bad thing. I'm talking about when it's a negative vision, when there's competition, when you're comparing yourself, And that's what I mean, comparing. That is when you're really allowing yourself to sabotage yourself. That's when you become your worst enemy. You can't perform if you're comparing yourself to somebody else. Because we all got different, we were all different.
Well, you can compare yourself, but if you're not blaming yourself, you just want to stretch yourself even more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna say that, like, I love your story about your boss, because it's like I was wearing your shoes, and I thought my boss, well, not my boss, but my business partner at the time, he was just an asshole.
Yeah.
But it made me realize that he was trying to stretch me.
Yeah.
He really thought I could do better, but and like, he was my biggest teacher, and I ignore him.
You just weren't ready. There's a time and space for everything. You're just not ready. But when you can reflect and when you can look back and you say, oh, wow, I had that perception where this guy didn't like me. Meanwhile, he actually adored me. He worshipped me. He even today, after 17 years of leaving the country, he speaks to every employee about me. He's got my trophies up in his salons. This is unbelievable. And I said to my cousin yesterday, are you sure? He said, Nick, I'm not the guy speaks so highly and only has like good things to say. Like he says, you still got the following that comes to the salon. They're still asking about you. So at the end of the day, that's what it is, when you can reflect and you can see and you go, oh, I'm so grateful that I could witness that I could just know that, that's what it is. But I also went to go prove myself back to show them that what I felt for my own understanding to have a completion, to prove them wrong. That was something that I went back and proved them wrong. And it was important for me to go back and to prove them wrong, because that made me to say, that's where it ends now. Now I can go further. Because I've never left a salon. I've never left a relationship with bad terms. because I knew if I leave the relationship in bad terms, I'm going to walk into the next relationship in exactly the same mind frame. Yeah. It's the same with the salon. If I had to leave that salon in a bad way, I won't be able to go into the next salon and perform as my own self-employed salon owner. I would have never gone to that level and gone through that in working for myself. So that's important.
You asked a great question about competition. And I think like to answer it becomes, if that's the default, if that's the orientation that I always see my life in as a competition, that will never work. Because you'll never be good enough. There's always someone ahead of you. There's always somebody below you.
Absolutely.
And the provers, like high successful achievers, I think, like at least mine was my dysfunctional pattern. And in my proving was validating that I was enough, that I was good enough, that I was enough. And I think that is huge for people that are striving for and achieving, and usually have it. It's a wound in there, and they will take the risk. So Pascal,
so true,
Pascal, your automatic was to stay safe, right? And like us, entrepreneurish, the ambitious side of it, the validator, right? They have to prove it. So safety, right, isn't really it takes a secondary seat. So just a differences in the upbringings, especially as we compare. And those woundings, just create different opportunities for people. So I think the orientation is to look at, am I always comparing myself to others? Or am I always fighting with them too, is another way, because that's the judging, fighting, angry, can't get along, frustrated. A prover gets that one too.
Kicked off there. I took my earpod out and then it took me completely out. Thanks for letting me in.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, I put my earpods, but I changed them because and it took me out. Yeah, it's just so cool. It's just so cool to be here. It's so cool to be able to have this understanding and finally can just make a better life, for yourself, for people around you. But I think it starts in our mind, It starts in our mind.
It does. Yeah. So the invisible, and it starts in the invisible. It's like either a thought or an emotion. Like that is the seed of it all.
Yeah.
I'd love to practice here just a moment. I'm so I like a stretching my businesses. Yeah, a new one that's there and an old one that's there, and it's like stretching the market with that. And then as they stretch, it's like, how do they play together? Because one's a new business that has a different organizational structure, basically two new partners, and then me and my partner as an existing structure. And so it's like, okay, I keep talking about this, but no one knows how to connect it. No one can relate to it. So how can I help relate to it? So here's the best that I did. It's like one of my projects that I'm proposing to CEOs is the equivalent of a 9-acre solar farm. And do this one package for people. Would be a year-long package. It would be the equivalence of building a 9-acre solar farm. Now, this 9-acre solar farm would probably make you maybe $1 million. Sorry, it'd make you, let me practice. That's my practicing here. Yeah. Yes, it would make you about $1 million. Or it would buy you one of those giant windmills. You know, that giant windmill would also make you $1 million. Our offer will make you $9 million. How many do you want? Kind of the way, sorry, that didn't feel good, that one. My point is there's 250 of those projects right here in Bakersfield. That's the equivalent of what the project that I'm talking about is adding. Is, if you look at it that way, every year it's like, what would it be, 10? It would be 25,000 windmills. 2,500 windmills. Yes, add a 0 to it. So 2,500 windmills. That's pretty cool. All right. That's the equivalent of 100 tons of CO2 a day. So that was my practice. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Jess.
The Pascal and line it up it's in the choice of the clean oil transition. So choosing how to transition clean oil, transition dirty oil to clean oil. And so that is my offer. And that's what, so thank you for letting me practice it. Because all the oil guys are taking their good oil money and putting it into those types of investments that are not returning good money. And that's not going to help the transition any. It will later, it'll just be too late. So
it's interesting when you talk about this story, because now I'm aware of my pattern. Because when you say, okay, well, this one will make you $9 million instead of $1 million, and in my head I'm like, okay, I'll take one. But an oil guy would be like, well, if it makes me 9 times more money, I'll go with 10 of them or whatever, 20 of them.
Mhm.
So I see my pattern of safety. So I'm always playing it safe, but playing it safe, I feel unsafe.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
You know, so it's really, I'm not doing myself any favor here. By playing it safe, I feel unsafe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Competing
right.
patterns, competing
Mhm.
patterns. A passion
Mhm.
pattern and a sabotaging
Mm.
pattern trying to go for the
Mm.
same thing.
Mm. 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 Wow.
Which one gets the most energy is why it
Oh.
oscillates.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
Because you'll give it your
Wow.
passion, build momentum for it, and then feel unsafe and retreat.
Oh,
And you just unwind all the momentum that was just made.
yeah.
We all do it in our patterns. That's why we can't have what we want.
Oh. And you know, the unconscious only hears yes. It has no discernment. So you say yes to it, it's going to say yes. Sure. Okay. Wow. That's why playing small doesn't benefit anybody. You got to play big. You got to go for what is big. Like be uncomfortable to be uncomfortable, for example. Do you follow? Like, just go for it.
Yeah. It's like the guy yesterday in the host he was hosting the interview. He says, yeah, you just got to suffer through it. And it's like, well, you don't have to
No, you
choose to suffer
don't.
through it. It's like, but
Yes.
he was talking about motivation, and it's like, how do I get
Right.
motivation? And it's like, well, first of all, you don't get it.
Yes.
It's like you are it. It's like, so
Yes.
however you are it, it's nothing to go get.
Yes.
But you see how the orientation is giving the power away that I don't have it.
Oh, boom. There's it. There's a lesson all on its own. Right there. If somebody gets this, we can just close this right here, right now. That's the lesson. Boom.
Yeah, you don't get motivation, you do motivation.
Yeah. Yes.
What gives it to you? What delivers it to you? And it's like, when only after you've done it to be like, oh wow, I really had fun doing that. I guess I'd love that. That's reflection.
Yes.
Well, how do I do more of that then? It's like, oh, well, we open another day at 5 o'clock. Let's put some structures. Let's create structures that keep it moving.
Repetition, baby. Repetition. Showing up. Yeah, you can tell me all day long, but if you're not showing me, it's pointless. You got to show up. What you do, this is it. How you play right here, right now, it's how you play life, baby. People think, oh, this is just a gathering. This is powerful, baby. This is how it starts. This is the momentum. This is what really the proof is in the pudding.
That's right.
Ooh, it's so good.
And when the proof shows up, wow, it's much later on. Look how much farther we're going to be when the proof shows up.
Oh, glory, glory, glory. That's all I can say. Glory. Those that put in the work, glory. That's what I got to say. Yeah.
That's my world, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it too. And it's never too late. That's the beauty. I had my boss say, Nikki, why do you want to make things so complicated, different? like, yeah, you're old, you know. I'm so old. I'm like 26 at the time. Are you kidding me? I'm old. Yeah, you're old. You don't want to do that, man. You got it all going for you here. Everything's been like, looked after. And why do you want to like expand? Why do you want to make it like a problem? It's not a problem. It's a solution. The solution. It's just what I would like, and that's it. Yeah, but there was always resistance, so much resistance my whole life. That's why I'm comfortable. I'm now understanding about resistance will persist, because once it's something you just got to like, see it for what it is and say, okay, what am I going to choose here? I'm going to pull through. I'm going to push through the resistance, because it's going to be uncomfortable no matter what. No matter what, it's going to be uncomfortable. Anything new is uncomfortable. You know, I went on the plane, as you know, I went to Florida and Tampa, and I sat by the window, and this guy, I just said, hello, like just nice, hello. And he said, oh, hello. I said, yeah. And then he even helped me with my bag to put up. I said, thank you. And we sat down, and he was just like this person where I just made conversation, very light conversation. Didn't mean just, I said, oh, you know, you look very like, we were just talking. I more or less gave a description of what he does for a living, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh my God, like, wow, that's very like interesting. How do you know? I said, no, I just felt, you know, this is what, and then we started talking. So he's a film producer. He does a lot of commercials and ads. I've worked a lot on sets and things like that. So I know. And as we were talking, and then we got to talk about diving, and we got to talk about food, and he loves food, and this is where he travels, and this is what I'm doing. And I would have never have known if I didn't say hello. You follow what I mean? There it starts. And it was something that I could feel and he could feel that was so interesting. And we had a laugh, and we even like it was so comfortable. I said, do you want some of my food? Because I had like a chicken something, and he had some of his, I don't know what he had. Oh, pasta. And he said, yeah, you don't mind, I would have some. Okay, yeah, it's because I'm not going to eat anymore. But what I'm saying is it was delightful. I wouldn't have known all of that. It was interesting. And as we departed, we said goodbye, wish him well, I wish you well. There was no, you know, it's just connection. Nothing physical, nothing to impress, just connection. We have here, connection. Nothing, just connection. And pure interest, like interest, because this is what we are choosing.
Sharing a time and space.
Sharing the time and space. And I gotta say that I've thoroughly enjoyed, because it's, our conversations and what we have, it's like it's ingrained in me, because it's like so interesting that it's processing so many things, the process through the day. And I love it, because I put my energy and I feel it, and I go, yeah, and then that's what Pascal, and I go back to the replay and I listen to a meditation of Pascal or something like this, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like my energy is just flowing with such inspiration and motivation and inspiring, and I go, wow, I have no time for anything else than just going for it. And it's like, are you kidding me? It's like the best feeling ever. And I am experiencing it because I have allowed myself to say, you know what? I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to get uncomfortable. Learned how to share my heart. I got to share a little intimate, something very personal, but I thought it was necessary at the time. And what a release. Because I know that it's It's not because I want to be seen or heard, but it is a human nature to be able to say, wow, I finally got somebody to hear me. Like they really see me. Like they really see me. And it's constructive. There's no like, I've got to walk away feeling bad about myself. No, it's just very constructive. It's like the school, like I've always wanted to go to. The school of life. I really appreciate it, man. I'm telling you, I don't know how, maybe one day I have to gather everybody, because it's such appreciation. Because you cannot spend this time together and not be thankful, and then not to show it. Are you kidding me? So I'm gonna make a plan. And it will be a plan. It's just,
A creation.
just nice. A creation. Yeah.
See, a creation doesn't have to have a plan. It can be, it's like, oh, there it is. That sounds good. That's what I create. And it's like, then when it's out there, people can say, oh, I can connect to that too. I can cast my net over there, and our nets can overlay, and we can pull it in.
The nets. I love that. I love that nets, the metaphor of the nets.
And then together we just pull it in, which
And we
really
just
means
put
we pull
fishes of men.
ourselves to it. We pull ourselves to it. Mhm.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Mm-mm.
So 10 minutes. What would we wrap up? Why we can't? That was what it was labeled today. We called it why we can't. What I find is that more people like to watch the negative titles.
Now that is the truth. Now
So-
that is the truth. It's the same. You can tell people they are broken, and then you try to fix them, then say to them they're not broken and they're whole. They rather go and go, no, the negative of it.
And it's attractive. I mean, it's 5 times more
right?
power. It's 5 times more effective because we want
It's
to
the
be
same as
safe.
gossip. It's the same as gossip. People want to gossip. It's such a shallow, low frequency of to gossip about somebody, but they enjoy it. They glow in it. The more gossiping, the more they gather. It's like, it's like.
Why? Because it's a pattern that makes them feel good.
There's it.
At the detriment of someone else, which is why it doesn't work. Why it doesn't last.
It doesn't.
It doesn't last because you will have to be on the receiving end of that at some point.
Oh, isn't that just true?
You get what you give.
You give, you get what you give. You get what you give. Yes. Wow. That's it. Wow, man. Powerful stuff, this there.
Yeah, by saying to them, like, I agree, you are broken.
Yeah.
Then you're agreeing with themselves, and that's why they're like, oh, you understand me.
Yeah.
Right? So when you think like we just want to be heard, but heard like, and we don't like when people have different views of us. Unless you rise above.
Yes.
And you're thriving for people that will challenge you.
Yeah,
but
man.
Until then, like, you want to stay small. And
yeah,
I'll give an example. I want to have some Airbnb like houses and stuff. or like rooms and whatnot. And then like the first thing my friend told me was like, you can't do that. You're having a baby.
Mm.
You're not gonna have time.
yeah.
Your life's gonna change so much. Like you're not gonna have
Oh
time
my
for
God,
anything.
yeah.
And you see like how people don't like when it's stretched them.
That's right. Come on now. That's right. Stretch, baby. Stretch.
And when you see this pattern, you're like, oh, okay, I see. Like all your life you stay small. And
That's
you
right.
kept me small. You kept me
That's
small
right.
by your ideas too. So it's like, okay, thank you, but I'll do my own thing and I'll
So
create
good.
what I want.
So good. Mm.
But you're right. Like when you're agreeing with people, you're very popular.
Mm.
You're very, very
Oh,
popular.
you're so, and you remember what you said yesterday, Pascal? Was it yesterday, the day before? I didn't listen to the replay, so I have to repeat. But you said people don't want to hear the truth, eh? Remember you said that? People
Yeah.
don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
As much as the truth sets you free, the truth also hurts. Not intentionally, but the truth does. But if it's constructive and you go in and say, oh, okay, let me think about that, right? Because you don't have to respond. You can think about something. You can walk away and think about it and then come back to the person and say, okay, now we can talk about it. Yeah? Mm.
Yeah.
Because I've had people, and I say this not as a victim, but as a victorious, I've had people come into my life constantly trying to mold and shape me and tell me what I can do and what I can't do. And then even put fear into me, even fear. So I know that one, the actual fear. Oh, you don't have time for that. No. What happens? They're going to sue you and like, all kinds of crazy things came up. Yeah. But I had to listen to my heart, you see. I had to follow my heart. And this is why I'm thankful to God that I listened to my heart. And no matter if I have to stretch and really do it by myself, as long as it's taken, I'm actually quite grateful that it's taken this long, because now I really know. Now that I know, no matter what comes now, I say, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for your opinion, but no, thank you. This is what I'm doing. You don't have to come in agreement with me. You don't have to like it. This is what I'm doing. And that goes with everything. People want to tell you what you eat. They want to tell you what you eat. They want to tell you what time to go to bed. You're an adult and they're telling you, no, you can't go sleep at this time of the night. You got to stay up all night because this is where we live. And New York doesn't sleep and blah, blah, blah. I said, that's you, honey. I go to bed. Thank you. I've got to wake up early in the morning. I got commitments. If you want to stay up all hours of the night, good luck to you. But not to me. Not for me. It's not for me. Because I'm definitely not a night owl. I'm an early riser, but not a night owl. I need my sleep. I need to function. And sleep does that for me. Yesterday, I was very like, whoa, I was consumed. There was a lot that was happening. And I just said to myself, oh, isn't this nice that you can just go to bed? Just go sleep. Just sleep. Don't think about anything anymore. Nothing to do. Just go sleep. Am I grateful for that? Because I did. And there you go. New day. Charged. Ready. And you can feel it, because I'm coming into this. Coming into creation. Being with creators. Being with people that I have always prayed about. And I'm actually witnessing it. I'm observing, I'm stretched and I'm here with people that inspire me, motivate me, encourage me, uplift me, healthy, they're wealthy. They're like everything that I've always prayed constantly, every single day for. And it's come to pass. I am here. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to dream about it. I don't pray about it. It is here. My prayer has been answered. And that I give amen and amen to. It's a
And
celebration.
that interview with the neuroscientist, he explains what they're seeing when people sleep.
Oh,
Thought it was amazing. It says one is like when the mind goes to a certain stage, is the dream stage, right? And what they say is like it's beginning to create. So
Just
you're
repeat that.
looking to when you step into the dream state, they say you are creating the future. Like that's what like part of the you're looking at all the possibilities of all the ways that it could go is when you're dreaming it. Do you see how that's a way of creating and letting go? And then it says there's a part of you that will begin to look at the day, the last 24 hours, and lump them together into experiences. So you're doing one, you're imagining of the future, but then you also come back. There's another state of sleep before you wake up. That's replaying the day yesterday and all the experiences. And you see
Oh my God.
that structure is taking place, which is why when we wake up, we can blend the two of them together.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just, oh my,
And you know,
like,
oh my God. Yeah. Sorry, Bex. Sorry,
recode is like happening, right? As you sleep.
Hey, that's it. With
And what they,
intentions, you know. Woo, so good.
and what they're doing now is they're saying is like when you can catch your mind in that pattern, when that mind goes to, let's say he used the word smoking. Like what they do is
Yes.
when you get into that moment and you play that pattern again, when that lights up, they said
Mhm.
they'll spray a little sniff of it in that, and says that sniff
Mhm.
will do it, and you'll stop, like for several days you'll stop that pattern.
Wow. Wow,
And
wow, man. I'm telling you, right? It's like, whoo, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Mm.
amazing, like what's coming as we unattach
That's right.
from us being the center of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and ourselves being the center of the universe, or even maybe allowing ourselves to be the center of our own universe,
Yes.
you know, loving ourselves from that perspective. And
Oh,
like when all of us do that, I don't know what 100% creating in joy, peace, power, passion, and purpose would look like. It'd have to definitely be better than what we see today.
absolutely. Oh, so good. So thankful. My gosh. Oh my gosh. My gosh, my gosh. Everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Thank you. Mm. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. Woo!
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah, this is good, eh?
this is good. I
Thank
feel
you.
like I'm complete. Thank you, guys.
I'm so complete. It's like I'm so grateful I got to release, but also to stretch myself because, it starts here. It really starts here. And it has started here. And I always say, I never forget where I started and where I came from. It's the truth. I promise. This is it. Like, you know, people come into your life. It's not a coincidence. This is where you really get to say, wow, this is a reflection, because I stand on I stand on the shoulders of giants. I do. I really do. And I honestly can say that's why I can stand, you know.
Mhm. So I'm going to honor Stretch, and I'm going to what I can think of Stretch today is that we've stretched our offer from $4,000 to $9 million.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the space. We stretched the
Wow.
space from 4,000 to 9 million. Oh, and what we did in the time was from now, we stretched it 12 months, like to a year. It's like, here, accept the offer for a whole year rather than just one at a time. Stretching. Uncomfortable because it's like, oh, now I'm making promises that I have to fulfill on. They're new, they're different. We don't know if we can. So that's stretching. It's creating space. That's taking territory. That's what creators do. Right, Nikki? They create space.
Oh, total space, eh? Total space. And yeah, it's just so exciting because yeah, this is it, hey? And it doesn't get better than this. And when I say it doesn't get better than this, of course we thrive to always do better. But when you get to this realization of just saying, wow, this is what you want to feel, you know, this is what you want to feel. And it is in the feeling, because once you can embody this, everything changes. Yeah. You can really stay focused. You can know where your power is, where you're putting your power. You can just know where you want to put your energy. You also know your thoughts. Like when it's a little bit on a little bit on going off track, you go, oh no, let's just get back here. Let's just get back here. And our conversations and sharing, it's what I really feel that it's been a real inspiration, because I know that this is not in vain. It's going out, and this is what makes, even if we don't know, because we do not know what we are doing every single day in our meditations. We are meditating for women out there, all corners of the world, children that haven't got parents, poverty, all things that are happening, that you can't reach all the corners of all the earth. Yeah, you follow? But through our meditations and where our heart is and our intentions and what we're doing here, it can reach somebody that we wouldn't even know. But that's what's the intention. That's the motive. That's when change comes, because no one knows what is capable, and what can make a difference in somebody's life. You maybe think, oh, who am I? But when I go into my meditation, I know that is a prayer to every single person on this planet. I pray for everybody, every single animal, everything, every human, country, and I maybe not be there physically, but energetically I'm there. And that is just as powerful. Mm-hmm. That's how powerful we are.
Intention is where it can start.
Yeah, totally. And that's also what Pascal, when he gave us that challenge, that I also felt very powerful, because you can have the challenge, but are you applying the challenge? Are you doing the challenge, And that inspired me, because I now have gone into a habit of knowing that what I do to wind down and go to my bed is a very sacred thing, because I put my attention. I I prepare not for the morning. You know, people only wake up in the morning and do their lenses. I do it the night before. My day starts the night before. The intentions, writing down and executing. And then when I go to bed, I say, what is the wings and what have I executed? And I did.
Yeah.
I did yesterday. And it's very rewarding here because you can go tick, tick, tick. And it's all things that not just of work, but things that are needed. Food shopping, washing. I'm just giving little prime things, you know, that needs to do every day. And it was done. And I maybe didn't want to do it, but I did it because it was, I put attention to that. My child needs clean clothes today, you know, and et cetera, and blah, 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 and food and all that, blah, blah, blah. And then also work, blah, blah, blah. I execute. But I didn't do it 10. I just did it 5 things that I needed to prioritize. Otherwise it gets overwhelming, you know, you get like a little overwhelming.
I'm gonna put just attention on this, as you said. My child wants. It's like I want clean clothes for my child. That choice is so powerful when you listen to it compared to I have to do laundry.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's so good, and that's so true. Yeah.
Most listeners don't listen to that because they're not listening to you; they're listening to themselves.
Most 99% of the time, this is why listening, and I am going to listen because I love listening and I so appreciate it, because this is a practice to listen. It's so important because people, when they're not even listening, like you say, they're listening to their own answers, what they want to share. And I have also been in that place where you're so feverish that you just want to and you're not even listening. And now it's the practice of listening. And I did practice this for the last 3 years because I also wanted the information of what I'm hearing. Like, what am I? And that's why I also repeat on repeat, you know, on repetition. When I say repeat, like listen again to the recording, that because it's so interesting that you think, oh, and then you listen to it again and you go, oh, I didn't hear that one. Oh, that's a whoa. And that changed everything for me. And then that's what I like about the recordings, because you can replay it. And sometimes you got to play it more than once, that you really get it synced in. And you go, oh, that's it.
I honor your journey. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your power, your genius, your greatness today. As always, every day, it's an honor to be with you.
Yeah, likewise. I'm so thankful. Yeah. And I feel the same.
I know.
You know, this is a really a beautiful space to grow, to learn, to listen, to expand, to stretch. It's everything. It's really everything.
All right, Nikki, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and until next time.
Thank you. Bye, Pascal.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.